Hello again. I didn't think I'd be back on today, but I didn't finish a book. And it's the review of why I didn't finish the book. But before I do, Jake, can you grab it? Jake wants to show you something. So this is my book bow for paperbacks. It's not original book bow, but it's one I got from Etsy that someone made, and it has a rainbow zipper. So cool! And it has Jake on the front. He's so excited. All right. So the book is, I won this off of early reviewers, and I requested it because it's short stories, and I like short stories, and the description is like horror, fantasy. I'm like, okay, I can deal with that, because those are kind of like my two favorite genres. So the cover should have told me already. That's kind of chintzy. And then the title of the book is Complete Short Stories. There's nothing to say about that. The author is Rachel E. Croxton. So I'm giving it no stars because I did not finish it. Out of the 4 stories I've read out of 11. Out of the 4 stories, I liked 1. And yeah, so it's called Mirror Image. That was a horror one, and that's the reason why I liked it. It was really cool. So the Mirror Image, I mean, if you find it online, just Mirror Image, just that story, it's worth it. I don't know if getting the whole book is worth it. It's a really cool story about this woman who's divorced, and her husband, who's a werewolf, invites her to see her kids because he has all her kids. I'm not delving into it. I'm just looking at face value. So when she goes visit him, there's something amiss about the house. The house is acting weird. There's strange things going on. Now my nitpicky with that story was her ex-husband lived there for 5 years and nothing happened until she visited. That made no freaking sense at all. But that's besides the point. But the ghosts were really cool. And the ending was really awesome. So that's the story I liked. I should have just went to the horror story and just read that and didn't bother reading these other 3 stories. So when I started reading the stories from the beginning, the first one said it was a rendition of Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, no. The first one she wrote as a sophomore in high school. It was basically written not by a sophomore in high school, more like a middle schooler. The writing was horrible. The story was horrible. I'm sitting there going, what am I reading right now? What is this? I can't even describe it. It was just bad. Okay, so maybe one bad and maybe the rest are going to be good. So the next one I read was about a pirate called Jasper the Pirate. And there's this running theme with these stories I'm noticing, that we just fall in love and everything's great. Happy ending! Yay! Okay. So Jasper the Pirate is on his pirate ship with his crew, and he finds a girl on board. She's a stowaway. And he keeps saying over and over, and as she wrote this as a senior in high school. Mind you, senior in high school. I digress. Jasper keeps saying, I'm a good pirate. I'm not going to rape her. She's not going to be raped. No rape. No rape. So much about rape in that first 10 pages. I was like, what am I reading? So, throughout the story, I guess they got caught in the storm and they went overboard, and her and him are on this desert island. And there was cannibals, but they were able to be there without getting eaten by the cannibals. Who knows how. And then they finally built a boat and left and got to civilization. And she falls in love with him. Oh. And at the end, he can't leave her. He jumps in the water and goes back. I'm like, okay. So then the last story I've read, which was super duper 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 long, which did not need to be. And if I'm very loud, it's because I get very emotion when I talk about stories are just not good. Okay. So this story was about these two kids named Alton and what the heck was her name? Jeez, I just finished it today when I was at the dealership. Alton and Mary. Okay. This is the fantasy, right? Let me explain what she figures. This is fantasy. So Alton and Mary. When Alton was a little boy, noises bothered him so much because he had supersonic hearing. So he had to wear earphones. This is the only time mentioned this in this whole story that's super duper long, that he has super duper hearing. Okay. So I guess the parents moved to a different planet. But it's like Earth. There's really no difference. So I don't understand why this is even in the book that they're living on a different planet, because it's literally like Earth. They do all Earth things. I digress. Mary's his neighbor, and he starts being a son of a gun to her while they're kids, picking on her, doing all nasty stuff towards her, like bullying her. And I'm like, okay. So you're literally reading this, okay, this is what he's doing. And then they're in high school and she's falling in love with him. Okay, seriously, let me stop you right there. If I'm getting bullied from the time I'm 5 years old until high school, why would I fall in love with my bully? I don't understand. Concept is not here. So then, even though she's 16, she acts like Mary. She acts like she's 10. Because, I don't want to tell him I have feelings for him. So I'm going to be shy. I'm going to go run in the corner and I'm going to cry. And then, no, we're not dating even though we love each other. Seriously, this is what I had to deal with. I'm like, why didn't I stop reading? Because I don't know why. I just want to see how it ended. Because I thought, maybe it'll get better. No. So, after all that teenage stuff, when they graduate, she says she has to move away. 80 years pass. 80 years. So see, since he's a superhuman, he's immortal. He doesn't change. And since she lived on this planet, she also ages slowly. So 80 years has passed, and wow, they found each other, fall in love, and get married, and have a baby. The end. And at this point, I'm like, I can't read anymore. I'm basically done. And I know I'm being nitpicky, and I just can't. I'm sorry if the author's watching this, but I couldn't. I can't deal with the ridiculousness of it. Seriously. Hopefully somebody else will like this. I'm like, the author did sign it, so I am gonna give this a prize book for, the adults for the library, but I just couldn't get into it. So that was probably the longest review I've done in a while. Whew, talking. All right, so that's it. Complete short stories. Yeah, and the cover is like 3D and it's just weird. By Rachel E. Croxton. I'm giving it no stars because I didn't finish it because it's not my type of short stories. And that is all. Woo! I don't know what that was, but I'm just being silly again. All right. Have a great day. Stay cool if you're in hot weather like I am. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Wait, bye-bye, Jake.